practice was mysticism. It's a very important word that will come up all semester. Okay? Mysticism is the philosophy surrounding direct, conscious experience or awareness of the source or creator of reality. That is the purest definition of mysticism. Can anybody think of an example when this happens? I think we might have talked about it. Yeah.
Okay, if they would like you see God.
That person. That if you're in the closet praying for 12 hours and there's an angel or God or a whole spiritual alien or something, that would be, and you think you somehow know that it's the creating reality, that would be a mystical experience. Yeah.
So it says that Pythagoras practiced mysticism. So like, did he himself do this crap, or like, did he study people?
I don't know. My guess is the first, that he was adept at it. He was able to generate experience. Yeah, you practice mysticism. This can happen spontaneously. That happens a lot. St. Francis of Assisi, good example, where some of you might have had experiences where all of a sudden you're walking through the park and you're like, something funny going on here. I feel really damn good, and it just feels like everything's holy. And maybe it was like the air was tingly or something. I had a student. Man, here's a good story. I had a student. I used to teach at Indiana University, the branch campus. When I was at Purdue, I drove up to teach at two places that needed more money. So I would drive up to Gary, Indiana, and teach at the branch campus there. And I taught metaphysics, upper level metaphysics there. And that was a good class. And I had a student, incredible student. Here's a story a student told me. This is amazing. He comes up to me after class one day, and he tells me this story. Halfway through the semester, he says, "Yeah, I was at a party one time when I was in high school, and I took ecstasy." That's what he said. And he says to me, he's at his friend or somebody's house where the party is, and so he walks outside on ecstasy, apparently really feeling good. And there's a swimming pool. Okay, and all of a sudden he just had this, some kind of awareness. Everything looked different all of a sudden. He said the air seemed like it was electricity. As soon as he started saying that, then I got really interested. And he said across the pool was an alien. That's what he said. A standard old gray alien. You know, the ones that look like, like that or whatever. Bad picture. That's really bad. But you know what I mean. You've all seen them. Looks like one of the Veggie Tales thing or something. And he says the alien, man, I forgot. I've got it written down what the alien said to him. He said something simple but profound. Something to do with what his name is or something like that. I can't remember. It just slips off the top of my head for a second. But he said the experience was so moving and it was filled with such happiness. He said it changed his life forever. He said before that he was kind of doing very good in school. And then after that he became a bookworm, and his whole personality completely changed and everything. And he was, about the best student in class. There were a lot of good students in that upper level class. And I just thought that was the most interesting story. That's a mystical experience to some degree. Why do I say that? Because the electrical air, electrical reality. This is something, so you can do mysticism. It can become kind of a practice. Have you ever wondered what all those monks are doing sitting in the monastery, meditating all day or praying all day? They're trying to generate this experience. Okay? So Buddhism is a mystical religion. And their findings of the source of reality is called nirvana. And what's it described as? Some descriptions of it are an electrical or light-filled field that's everywhere. So when that student told me that, I thought that was very interesting. Somebody had a hand up. I thought I just, speaking of hallucinations, okay. Peripheral vision. Yeah.
They also say the same thing with like magic mushrooms.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. You can generate a lot of that stuff with these substances. Hey, they're parts of people's religions. So these are religious sacraments. DMT, mushrooms, lysergic acid, peyote. We were just talking about that in critical thinking last night. All kinds of peyote talk. So so these things, the human mind is susceptible to this. All you need to do is experience a crisis. Take mushrooms. Smoke a huge wad of marijuana. Go sit in a monastery or a church. Go into the forest. Just being immersed in nature can do this to people. Okay, watch your mind. Do this experiment. find a forest, raging forest, not now, wait till there's leaves and it's green everywhere. And watch your consciousness, watch the way you feel. Don't try to change your feelings, just watch your feelings. Watch as you're driving down the road to the forest. See how you feel, okay? And then park in the parking lot, see how you feel there, and then get into the forest. There's nobody around, just quiet. And watch how your feelings change. I guarantee every single one of you, your feelings, you'll notice subtle differences just by being surrounded by nature. Yeah?
Like, for example, what you experience, is that similar to like a daytime dream or something, you know?
I think the word for it is Hypnagogia. Anybody heard of that word? Or Hypnagogic? Psychology class? Yeah? Anyone? No? Okay. Let's put it this way. We talked the other day about there's a mind's eye, right?
Third eye.
Yeah, third, right. Okay, third eye. It appears to be easy to prove that that exists. How easy? Like we did the other day. I'm seeing a blue dragon in my mind. Okay, so there's some kind of eye of consciousness that can see things that aren't here, whether they're real or just made up. Okay, probably most of you think made up. Fine, whatever. Apparently, the theory would go that that eye has the ability to see in ways that your physical eyes never can. It can see all kinds of different things, whether real or imaginary. Let's leave that issue on the shelf for a second. The hypnagogic eye, or the third eye, really becomes at play with psychedelic experiences or meditation experiences or spiritual experiences.
It's like dreaming.
Dreaming seems to be the same process. It's kind of hard to tell because when you're in a dream, the hypnagogic experience has a real specific feeling. If any of you want to know, you can generate this very easily. All you have to do is when you go into sleep, just sit back and watch your mind and feelings. Don't touch them, just watch them like you'd watch clouds floating by or something. And what that does is relaxes you. If you're ever trying to fall asleep, don't count sleep, do this. What I'm saying now is watch your own thoughts and stuff. And what you'll see is as you're falling asleep, your mind changes. Everybody hear that? It changes dramatically, becomes totally different. And there's a certain feeling and a certain thought process associated with that called hypnagogia. It's a specific feeling. We know that hypnagogia, what's called hypnagogia, is between waking and sleeping. It can happen in the mornings too. Hypnopompic states. I've never had it. It's supposed to be the same thing except in the morning. I've never had a hypnopompic experience. But hypnagogia is real easy. Anybody can generate it tonight as you're falling asleep, or now in class maybe. So we know what the feeling is, we know what the characteristics are. Now I've noticed in other experiences, mushroom experiences and certain kinds of daytime daydreaming, that hypnagogia experience is actually something that human consciousness can flip in and out of in all different kinds of, so the same feeling and same process that I've noticed in hypnagogia can happen other times. So hypnagogia appears to be quite common. I know one thing, in mystical work, like if you try to generate mystic experiences through meditation or contemplative prayer or whatever, hypnagogia sets in. And you start to see all kinds of different things that your physical eyes never would see. And in the materialistic age that we're in, you call those imagination. But of course that's not verified if those are imaginary or not. Maybe your mind is tapping into another dimension. That issue has to be still settled. Answer your question.